Tonight on NewsLink, low test scores across the state have inspired a new resource for aspiring teachers.
And we have breaking news about the fate of sorority housing on campus. I'll tell you about the major changes that are on the way.
Rain chances are returning this week. I'll have all that and more in my full forecast. NewsLink Indiana starts now.
Live from the Ball State News Center, this is NewsLink Indiana in high definition.
Good evening and welcome to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Jenna Liston.
And I'm Logan Rivera. Thanks for joining us.
Breaking tonight on NewsLink Indiana, a decision about the future of sorority housing on Ball State's campus has been made.
NewsLink Indiana reporter Cameron DeBlasio is live in the newsroom with more information. Cameron, what can you tell us?
Hey, good evening, guys. Ball State sororities have received some unfortunate news about the future of their housing on campus. All chapter presidents attended a meeting on Thursday where it was revealed that the sororities would not be moving forward with lease agreements on their houses. Sorority members were notified shortly after the meeting that the national chapters could not come to a unanimous decision about the length of the lease. Samantha Johnson is the president of Delta Zeta here on campus. She said the decision was disappointing.
Yeah, so obviously we were disappointed. That's not just speaking for me or not just for my chapter. I think as a community, it was something that we've been looking forward to for a very long time. Unfortunately, it just fell through. So it's not the end of the world. We'll pick up and we'll move on from here, but we were definitely disappointed.
Johnson says while it is unfortunate that an agreement could not be reached, not much will change for her sorority. Delta Zeta used the houses primarily as gathering spaces, and she says they will be able to use the space provided to them in Woodworth for those purposes for the time being. University spokesperson Joan Todd released a statement saying, quote, "The sorority housing project is on hold indefinitely." Ball State heard from the national sororities that they were not ready to sign lease agreements. The university is exploring other possibilities to continue with the project, but no decisions are imminent. Now, the expectation is that Ball State and the national chapters will not be renewing this discussion for some time. We will continue to monitor the story and provide updates as they become available. Live in the newsroom, Cameron DeBlasio, NewsLink Indiana.
Thank you, Cameron, for that update. One of campus's oldest resident halls is getting torn down, but students are taking time to remember what happened inside. NewsLink Indiana's Michelle Kaufman has the story.
The time La Follette has remaining is limited. The campus master plan revealed plans to demolish La Follette and build 2 new residence halls on the property. La Follette opened in 1967 and currently houses about 1,900 students. Mish Hurst and Woody Shales will be the first 2 halls demolished. The demolition is scheduled to start May 8th and be completed around the end of September. Junior biochemistry major Sarah Pruitt said her fondest memory of her freshman year was a resident knocking on doors asking if anybody wanted to play Cards Against Humanity.
We played till like 3 a.m. It was really, really cool. I met a lot of people that night and we have been friends ever since. Talk about how, we don't like community bathrooms, or like, did you hear like this happened on like the 8th floor, those kind of things that are just silly. But it's that community building that I'm really going to miss about La Follette.
When I found out that I was going to be an RA in Mish Hurst, I was super excited because I loved La Follette from my first year. I think I'm just going to miss the building in general. I feel like a lot of people downplayed it because it was old, but I think that just added to the sense of community that it gave.
In Muncie, Michelle Kaufman, NewsLink Indiana.
The university is currently seeking bids for the demolition, and the estimated cost of the project is $3.4 million, and the demolition is scheduled to be completed on September 29th.
A state-appointed fact finder is expected to announce which proposal will be chosen as the new collective bargaining agreement between Muncie Community Schools and the Muncie Teachers Association this week. School Board President Debbie Fike told the Star Press today that she hopes the fact finder will also provide advice in terms of the next steps. Tensions have been high between community and board members as the district has tried to solve its financial problems. Fike hopes the fact finder's decision can help achieve a kind of holistic outcome. School board member Jason Danetti called the board and the last meeting to work towards mending relationships in the community, saying it was the best way to make progress.
With graduation right around the corner, one test might be keeping aspiring teachers out of the classroom. NewsLink Indiana's Esther Bauer explores how Ball State is hoping to combat the problem.
Over the past 3 years, certification rates for Indiana teachers have dropped, leaving many eager to teach forced to find work elsewhere. This started when Indiana switched their certification exams from Praxis to Pearson. Only 18% of those who took the middle school science exam passed this new test. Instructor of Education and Program Coordinator of Secondary Education, Cresta Hancock, believes the low pass rate is because of a change in content.
Whereas now it's so broad and open that just going in, not being aware of exactly what they're testing, I think can cause some issues.
When Hancock took her certification exam through Praxis, she took multiple tests that focused on specific concentrations of study instead of one large test. Hancock is trying to help aspiring teachers by creating a new study lounge that will provide materials students can use to prepare for these tests.
The new study lounge will be located right here on the 8th floor of the Teachers College and will feature various resources students can use to prepare for the Pearson's test, free of charge.
Knowing the content is important, but Hancock feels there is another key to being successful with these tests.
Don't just focus just on the content, but also think about those test-taking skills, the best way to prepare to take a test.
With this issue far from over, learning to look at the test with new study materials and strategies may be just what students need in order to make the transition from taking tests to assigning them. In Muncie, Esther Bauer, NewsLink, Indiana.
The new Pearson Study Lounge will have free study materials and is set to open up in the fall of 2017.
Well, with today being slightly rainy, do you think it's going to be warmer out there, Jenna?
I really hope so. It's nice warm weather, but not so clear skies. Luke, do you have any hope for us in this upcoming week forecast?
Sadly, guys, I do not have any hope for you guys. It looks like the rain will stick around for the rest of the week, but today we experienced a very wide range of weather. It was raining and sunny, but it was also really warm. I was able to see a lot of people out on campus running around, getting their workout or jogging. But coming up in my full forecast, I'll have rain chances are returning and they will linger throughout the week. And above average temperatures are here to stay, plus my full weekend forecast coming up. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Luke. Coming up, a man proclaims himself to be God after being arrested this weekend.
And supporters of President Trump marched through the streets of Indianapolis this weekend. Those stories and more are next.
Oh! Checking your fantasy league?
Nah, just my 401k statement.
Nice. Where'd you find the money for that?
I just been saving a little every month.
I can't seem to save anything.
Well, what about all this? What about the money you're spending?
What money? It's gone before I can get my hands on it.
I got a pizza for a Todd.
Hey, can somebody spot me?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind.
It's 547.
Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
So I've come up with the family emergency plan.
Great. What is it?
It's difficult to talk about, so I'm not telling you.
How will we know what to do?
You won't.
I'm so glad I won't have to remember anything.
And me too. Thanks for this, sweetie.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Visit ready.gov/kids for tips and information.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that! That's disgusting! Oh, poop already! You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
Good evening and welcome back to NewsLink, Indiana. A Muncie man was arrested over the weekend for creating a disturbance in the Northside Goodwill store. According to the Star Press, police were called to the store Saturday afternoon following reports of a man fighting with customers and staff. Police records show Kalihan Bilal fought with police when they arrived and proceeded to kick at them after being tased twice. Bilal was arrested on multiple counts, including choking, battery of law enforcement, and intimidation, according to the police report. Following his arrest, Bilal was taken to IU Health Ball Memorial Hospital. Police say when asked to identify himself in an ambulance, Bilal said that he was God. Bilal is now being held in the county jail, and his bail is set at $10,000.
Marches involving Donald Trump once again were seen across the nation this past weekend, but this time those marches were showing their support for the president. NewsLink Indiana's Gabby Mitchell explains how Indianapolis saw one of those marches.
This past weekend, many Trump supporters gathered around the country at their local state houses to rally for President Donald Trump and all that he plans to do within the next 4 years. Specifically in Indianapolis, many Trump supporters were marching for a variety of reasons, but the most common theme was to reunite our country. But for Indiana resident Leroy Patton, it was the first time he had ever participated in such an event.
I'm concerned with the direction of our country. It's not about my generation as much as it is about your generation. The generation to come behind us is going to be left the legacy that we leave them. We, as responsible Americans, need to leave a legacy worthy of America. And we only do that by action.
The march began at Church Street, then traveled through the circle and back to the State House as an effort to encourage others to unite the country. While many citizens passing by simply saw supporters who were wrapped in American flags, there were little people who noticed the signs that were unique in their own respect.
This is Thoraz rune, Menez rune, and the Yebo rune. Those three runes together would mean somewhere in the lines of, a common goal, protection and strength, dedication to a cause with those three runes cast together. So we put them on a bunch of shields that we made like this for just a little bit of extra help.
I'm Gabby Mitchell, NewsLink Indiana. Back to you.
The supporters say they will continue to push for unification of the country.
Ball State students stayed up for 24 hours to lend a helping hand to local nonprofits. Mary Eber has the story.
Rewarding, exhausting, and fun are a few words to describe what students experienced during Ball State's first Create-a-thon. Cardinal Communications is Ball State's student-run public relations agency. Ball State was one of 2 universities selected nationally to host one of the first student-led Create-a-thons. Teams of students produce nonprofit marketing, public relations, and advertising work for Animal Rescue Fund, Little Red Door, and YWCA. Katie Ronzio is the executive director for Cardinal Communications.
We could do a strategic plan by the end of a semester. So an account team has the entire semester to do what we're doing here in 24 hours. My team solely, YWCA, is doing a strategic plan in that time period. And I'm already we need more time to gather the correct research, but we're hauling.
After a long night, presenting their work to the clients in the morning made it all worthwhile. Amy Fant is the executive director for Little Red Door Cancer Services of East Central Indiana. Fant said she was absolutely blown away with the students' work on a fundraising event for their organization.
This morning I saw people up there that were emotionally invested in, and that to me makes what I do worthwhile.
Staying up all night, dedicating 24 hours to provide free services for nonprofit organizations was worth it. After unveiling their presentations, both students and clients felt a greater sense of community. In Muncie, Mary Eber, NewsLink, Indiana.
To learn more about Create-a-thon, visit www.createathon.org.
Well, every Thursday night, 300 to 400 Ball State students attend the campus religious group, Crew.
Every semester, Crew has an outreach to connect with students on campus. Last semester's outreach was called What Fulfills You and included students writing on billboards.
This past week, Crew had their spring outreach. Greek Crew, Impact, and Bridges are all branches of the Crew movement that were involved with this outreach. Stacy Myers, an intern with Crew, shared why she thought last week was so special.
Last week's theme for our outreach was that a relationship with Jesus is greater than following a religion.
To learn more about Crew, visit www.ballstatecrew.com.
Logan, that weather this week, I mean, talk about April showers coming up, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Luke, what can you tell us about the weather that we have coming up?
The weather we have coming up, it looks like there's going to be a lot of rain chances coming up in the week. As we check out this time lapse, though, you can see some sunshine. I'll let you guys know when that sunshine will return in my full forecast.
Can you help me with this? My new dad teaches me all kinds of stuff.
Sure.
He helps me with homework.
That would be 3.6795.
Thanks.
Yep.
He helps me with my decision making.
I wouldn't use this one. Ever.
And he's even teaching me how to drive.
And that's why cars have bumpers.
I'm learning so much.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
They're coming. Places, everybody.
Light check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Everything looks good on our end.
And lights.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
Of all the things you've done with your bike, donating it to Goodwill may be the most incredible of all. Your donations help fund job placement and training for people in your community, which means your stuff can be more powerful than you think. Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. Logan, I had my umbrella ready for today, but I didn't have to whip it out.
Well, I don't know, Jenna. I got rained on a little bit when I was heading over here today.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Luke, can you tell us if we have any more showers coming up this week?
We will have showers and thunderstorms coming up later in the week. But for tonight, though, for the almanac, we're sitting at 65 degrees for our high today. Average is 58, so we're well above average for this time of year. And for the low, we were at 51 degrees. Average is 44 degrees, so we're really above average for this time of year. But for tonight, though, we're going to reach a low of 51 degrees with showers and some thunderstorms likely, with a very calm wind coming out of the northeast between 3 and 8 miles per hour. As we check out Precision Cast for the first time, as you can see, this rain and clouds start to move through tonight and into tomorrow, and it will cause for some mostly cloudy skies for tomorrow. But for our bus stop forecast, though, when you go drop off the kids at school or when you have an 8 a.m. class and you're walking to it, it's going to be 51 degrees, mostly cloudy, so it's going to be relatively mild out. And then at 3 p.m., it's going to be partly sunny, 60 degrees. It's going to be a really nice day outside tomorrow. But for tomorrow, we're going to reach a high of 60 degrees with a north wind between 9 and 12 miles per hour. As we pick up Precision Cast for the final time, these clouds and rain showers will make to our way Thursday morning and into Thursday day, causing some very likely rain showers and thunderstorms. Looking at our 7-day forecast, though, it's going to be 58 on Wednesday, 61 on Thursday, 59 on Friday, with some rain showers likely and mild temperatures for the weekend.
Fantastic. Looks like we do have a bit of rain coming up, don't we?
We do have a lot of rain coming up later this week. I hope you guys all have an umbrella out.
I'm prepared to swim to my classes, I can tell you that.
Definitely will. And I'll bring my umbrella to these upcoming baseball games. We have baseball season coming up, Peter Hood.
Well, I'm not much of a swimmer, so I hope I don't have to swim anywhere. But if you're a baseball fan, it's a great time to be alive because, can you believe it? Baseball season is here. High school baseball season is here. We have a preview of two of Delaware County's finest squads, their seasons on the other side of the break.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know wherever you are.
Cook foods to the right temperature using a food thermometer. 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
So, I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
You wanted to be a teacher when you were little, but things changed. Teaching didn't seem that cool anymore, so you decided to become something else. But what would your 12-year-old self say? Amazing things are happening in teaching, so it's time to put it back on your list. Don't try to convince yourself otherwise. You had it right the first time.
Hey, evening everybody. Well, as March comes to a close, it's starting to feel a little more like spring here in Indiana. With that comes the pinging of the bats, the sweet smell of concession stand popcorn at baseball fields all across the area. High school baseball is here, folks, and we've got you covered all week long with season previews of the local teams. We begin tonight with the Yorktown Tigers. They have a date with their crosstown rivals to begin their season this weekend. Alicia Barnarcha has the story.
Yorktown High School baseball is getting back to the swing of things. Winning the county tourney last year, the team is hoping to continue their competitiveness going into the season to defend their title.
Upperclassmen, we've got 10 seniors this year, so we're returning, a lot of experience. So I think that that should give us an advantage that we have guys who've been around a while, and a lot of upperclassmen to lean on.
One of these experienced players, senior Cole Barr, is already signed to IU.
The goal always is to win sectional and county. We always want to be the best team in the county. That's just bragging rights. And then, we always want to win a championship in sectional and maybe go on further. I think if we hit well and we play solid defense and our pitchers can throw strikes, we'll have a good chance to do that.
Well, we have some question marks on our pitching staff early on. We've had some injuries in the offseason that we're trying to work through. I think we have plenty of guys who can throw strikes, but we're going to have to score runs to win ball games. So if we can answer those questions early, I think we'll be in good shape.
Now let's head to Delta with Aaliyah English.
Thank you, Alicia. It's the same old Delta-Yorktown rivalry, just with a brand new look. After Delta's nearly $1.6 million field renovation, both teams will go head-to-head Friday night under the lights.
It's going to be a lot of fun because playing on Saturday mornings really hasn't been that great for the past few years. And it looks really nice, so it's going to be a lot of fun to be the first team that gets to play in a night game at Delta.
While fun for the Eagles is important, head coach Seth Paul wants players to maintain focus under the pressure of the Friday night lights.
I just want the kids to play hard and be relaxed and be able to focus on what we're trying to do. Obviously, I'd like to win both games, but if we play well and come out and set a good tone for our season, I think that's better than just showing up and playing horrible.
As for season goals,
obviously we want to be successful again. I think the easiest way we've done is we've kind of just set our sights on Delaware County. We want to be the best team in Delaware County, try to win the Delaware County tournament, which is something we haven't done in 4 years, and then kind of go from there.
Delta hosts Yorktown 5 o'clock Friday at Veterans Field. In Muncie, Aaliyah English, NewsLink, Indiana.
So something interesting that was brought up by both coaches in that piece, thank you Aaliyah and Alicia, both want to be the best team in the county this year, and obviously both can't be the best team in the county. Something's got to give there. So Yorktown Delta hoping to have good seasons. We'll have season previews of Muncie Central, Wapahani, Muncie Burris, and others as the week goes on.
Yeah, got some big competition this year, I can see.
Absolutely, yeah.
Of course. Thank you so much, Peter, with sports tonight. Well, next in entertainment news, we have a famous rapper is going to be introduced into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
And coming up, a popular reality show star is going to be stepping down. All this and more when we return.
Hey, did you know 2.4 million loving cats and dogs in shelters and rescues need our help to find a home? Let's go to theshelterpetproject.org and meet if you are in a shelter near you. Harlow, oh, she's one great listener who loves to hear all your stories. My kind of cat. Cerulo is a sweet, goofy boy who's eager to please. Sounds just like another dog I know. So go to theshelterpetproject.org, search your local shelters and rescues, and go for a cuddle with your next best friend. Adopt.
Sure, I look cute now, but when my owner lost his job, it was rough. I was living on the street, and one night, me and this Cocker Spaniel got into it so bad, I wound up looking like an ice cream cone. I cried a little bit, but thankfully I got rescued, so I'm running, I'm jumping, all back to my old self. And I'm ready to give unconditional love, even if you put a lampshade on my head.
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's not something you buy.
Or something you take.
In fact, there's only one way to get it.
It has to be given to you, freely.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape. Consent.
If you don't get it, you don't get it. It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Welcome back. It's Felicia Donaldson with your entertainment news. Dance Moms is losing its famed instructor. Abigail Miller announced her resignation via Instagram on Sunday. In her post, she said she was treated like dirt by officials. She also says the producers of the show manipulated, disrespected, and used her. Miller has been on the show since it started in 2011. This news comes during a time when she was dealing with legal issues. Last summer, Miller pled guilty to 2 charges, one of which was concealing bankruptcy assets. Miller is waiting for her sentencing date. Tupac Shakur will be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. The induction takes place after the Barclays Center in Brooklyn next Friday. Rolling Stone confirms that Snoop Dogg will induct his late friend. The two met during a rap party for the film Poetic Justice. Later on, Tupac joined Snoop Dogg at Death Row Records. In total, more than 75 million of his albums have been sold. Tupac's life was cut short in 1996 when he was shot multiple times. Shakur is known as a rapper, record producer, actor, activist, and poet. This past Saturday, Muncie Gras patrons got a taste of their artistic talent of their local DJs. The Electronic Music Dance Collective, or EDMC, is a group and artists in Muncie who performed around the area. Muncie Gras is one of the biggest events for the group and required weeks of preparation. T-Rob says the atmosphere for Muncie Gras is different from their normal concert, and they have to change up their sets compared to a normal venue.
Normally, if I were to play at a bar or something, I would, tailor my set a little bit more to the type of crowd that is there. More rap, something like that. But since we're at like a festival type setting, I can actually play some things that define me as an artist.
The group EDMC will perform again this Wednesday night at Be Here Now. That's all for you at entertainment. Back to you at the desk.
Thank you so much, Felicia. Well, keeping that Friday night game in mind, let's hope that the fields aren't too flooded when we get through the week. What can you tell us with our last look at weather?
Last look at weather. Well, it looks like the Friday, looks like there is a strong chance of rain, 80% of chance of rain and thunderstorms with a high of 59 degrees. So the fields might actually be flooded on Friday.
All right, thank you very much, Luke.
All right, that's all for tonight on NewsLink Indiana. Be sure to watch tomorrow night at 9 right here on Cardinal Vision.
And be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. From all of us here at the studio, have a good night.